Hello to everybody students, welcome to our English class. So in the last class we have started our which unit? We have started our sixth unit children. So in the sixth unit we are discussing about the art and culture, right? So from that art and culture we are dealing with the lesson the story of Ikat children. So in the last class we have discussed the first part of this lesson. So we have completed the beginning of the lesson, and from the page number 88 we have completed the first paragraph children. Yes, so we have completed the first paragraph. Now we are going to continue the remaining part of the lesson which is present in the page number 66. Hope everybody have opened your textbook. Refer to the page number 66 children. So what is given here? We have learned that what is the meaning of the Ikat. Yes or no? So we are seeing the story of Ikat, no? First of all, we should know what is the meaning of the Ikat here. What is the meaning? So in the page number 87, last paragraph, it has given children. Last paragraph. What is that? Ikat is nothing but a hand-operated loom which weaves and has been weaving fabrics for centuries. Okay, so it is one of the hand-operated loom children. It is one of the hand-operated loom which weaves. Weaving is nothing but alladam. Yes, and has been weaving fabrics of centuries. So whatever the threads are being prepared, that is called the Ikat children. Right? So the story of Ikat. So look the figure. Look the picture how that man is preparing the fabrics. Yes or no? Yes. So the separate threads are seen here, and the separate threads are made into the fabrics. The separate threads are made into the fabrics. So a small discussion is going on here in our lesson. We are able to see that social teacher is discussing about what here? About the topic. Which topic the teacher is dealing? The teacher is dealing about the textiles of India, Ikat of Andhra Pradesh. So she is one of the social studies teacher. She is explaining about textiles of India and Ikat of Andhra Pradesh. Right. So we will continue the remaining part children. So I have mentioned it is at this lesson as the part 2 children. Everybody should have to watch the part 2. The story of Ikat part 2. The teacher said, are you thinking about the word Ikat or tie and dye? While you are looking at the fabrics, what can be the origin of this word? Okay, now the teacher is putting some question. Are you thinking about the word Ikat or tie and dye? Okay, tie and dye. Tying is nothing but tying, mudi veyadam, and dyeing is nothing but having the color to the fabric children. Right? So while you are looking at the fabric, what can be the origin of this word? Origin is nothing but what can be the meaning of this word? No one answered but looked expectantly as she continued. Okay, when the teacher began to ask the question for the student, no one is able to tell the answer. Okay, now the teacher began to continue with the answer here. Expectantly is nothing but expecting to be happened, expecting something to be happened. Okay, but no one has given the answer. Now teacher is continuing with the other words. What is that? In hand weaving, we have threads stretched lengthwise called warp. W-A-R-P. W-A-R-P. So what is warp? Warp means what children? Here, in hand weaving, when they are weaving with the hand, we have threads stretched lengthwise. Stretching lengthwise like this. Stretching. It is called the stretching. Lengthwise it has been stretched. So this is called the warp. The threads which are stretched lengthwise called warp, and threads intersecting. Okay, and threads intersecting them widthwise called weft. Okay, so intersecting these threads. This is called weft children. Okay, W-E-F-T. This is called weft. Yes, when the threads are arranged in this way. Okay, some threads are arranged in a lengthwise, stretching in a lengthwise, and the remaining other threads are intersecting these stretched lines is called the weft. So when both when these both are combined, what we are going to get? We are going to get the thread, children. Okay, or it is made into the cloth also. Now next with example you can understand, it is given in that paragraph only. Let us see. Imagine the graph sheet. Okay, imagine the graph sheet. Now you can consider this graph. Okay, suppose this is the graph, children. This is the graph sheet. Now you wanted to draw a graph, then you should to mention the x-axis and the y-axis. No, so you will be having these lines. You will draw the line. So this is the x-axis. Okay, and this is the y-axis you are going to draw. X-axis and y-axis. Now this warp and the weft, how we are going to arrange in this graphical paper, that we are going to see here, right? Imagine the graph sheet and the x-axis and the y-axis. Yes, already I have mentioned x-axis and the y-axis. X and y I have mentioned. Axis, x-axis, and this is y-axis, children. So now you will be able to understand how these people are going to make these fabrics here. Now, next, what is given? Imagine the graph sheet, the x and the y axis, and how they crisscross to form square motifs. Okay, crisscross. Now see here. So when we are arranging this warp and the weft in, okay, when they are stretching along the x-axis, okay, they are stretched in the x-axis. We are stretching, okay, and warp is intersecting those x-axis, intersecting. Okay, when they are intersecting, have you seen what we are able to see? We are able to see one type of cloth is made, one fabric is made. We can see. Yes or no? See here. Ahmad was excited. Teacher, warp is stretched along y-axis. Warp is stretched along y-axis. Stretching along the y-axis. Warp. Next one is and weft along x-axis. This is x-axis, no? It is stretched along the x-axis. See here. This is stretched along the y-axis, means like this, stretching. This is called warp. W-A-R-P. Right? This is called warp. Now, along x-axis, warp, no? Sorry, W-E-F-T. This is the weft. Good? Warp and the weft. When we are intersecting, we are getting the fabrics here. The class was thrilled as a new understanding came. So when the teacher is explaining to them, they are not able to understand. When the teacher has taken the example of the graph, everybody have understood. Okay. Now, next paragraph, children. Janaki said, in Ikat, the threads are carefully sorted, warp and weft divided into bundles, then tied with locally available waterproof material like plastic sheets, rubber strips from car and bicycle tires, then dropped into colors. So Janaki, the teacher, is telling what here? In Ikat, the threads are carefully sorted. Sorting is nothing but carefully arranged. Sorting is nothing but arranged. Warp and weft are divided into bundles. Okay, they are divided. Warp, they are completely divided. Weft, they are separately divided. Bundle, okay, then tied with locally available waterproof material like plastic sheet, rubber strip from car and bicycle tires, then drop into the color. See here, have you seen, children? This is the picture how they are doing. Okay, by seeing the picture how they are tying, you can able to understand easily. Once you unite the knots, you can see which thread dotted with colors at intervals, Ravi said. Okay, so you can see what here. Once you notice the knots is nothing but wherever the place you are tying. Here tied, no, children. Here you are able to see, no, how the threads are being tied here with the different colors. Yes or no? So that's here. Once you unite the knots, you can see the thread dotted with color. You can see the thread dotted with color at intervals. Now, Ravi, one of the students is telling. Ravi said, teacher, how do they know where to tie any knots? Okay, one boy is putting the question for the teacher. How do they know where to tie the knots easily? Now, Janaki smiled. The teacher has begun to smile here. The ties indicate the design we want. Okay, so whatever the ties they are making, no, wherever they are tying, no, that indicating the design, which design we needed, that it indicates. We can look at a design or a motif and a tie. Ravi looked puzzled. It did not seem simple. So after hearing this all the words from the teacher, Ravi was just puzzled. That means he was confused and it not seem simple, and he recognized that it is not a simple method to make the fabric is selling. Now Ravi, I think Ravi from the boy side is very clever student, putting the more and more questions for the teacher. Now Ravi, you are absolutely right. It is not the simple method the teacher is selling. The teacher said it is not easy. First you count the thread. First you count the thread, measure the distance, calculate when to repeat a pattern. When to repeat a pattern. See children, have you seen the cloths? Different patterns of the cloths are made. How they are made? By this process only. Only then you can tie the knots. Okay. Now teacher, it seems like difficult maths, Ramya said. Now Ramya is telling what? Teacher, it is looking like a very difficult like mathematics. Correct. Weavers may not be formally educated but have complex calculation at their fingertips. So it is very difficult task. It is like a mathematics. After counting only, they should have to arrange or intersect the threads. Here the weavers are doing the same. Weavers may, even though the weavers were not be educated, they are counting the threads correctly here. Weavers may not be formally educated but have complex calculation at their fingertip. Okay, they don't have any calculation part, children. They don't have any calculator. They just counting with the fingertip. This is called the fingertips. Yes or no? Right. Now they draw patterns on the graphs and copy them on the thread. So first of all, before going to have the design on the cloth, what they will do, children? They just draw the pattern on the graph. Then they will copy on the threads. Janaki continued, just to close your eyes and imagine. Teacher is telling what? Just to close your eyes and imagine. Thread stretch out long with dots of different colors shining. So whatever the threads you are seeing on the fabric, children, they began to shine. Why? Why? Because different colors are being given to those fabric. Yes or no? Then only they are shining. Next one. Next line, children. Thread stretched out long with dots of different colors shining. I have seen such a sight in villages of Nalgonda. So whatever the threads, the teacher is going to explain. No, one girl is explaining. How she is explaining? She is explaining that this kind of threads I have been seen in Nalgonda district, children. Someone said, teacher, the dots are like raindrops. So whatever the dots you are able to see on the plot, they are just looking like raindrops. Raindrops. Have you seen the raindrops? Before the rain, we will be having small drops of rain falling down on the ground. Yes or no? Now, so that drops are called what? Chukka. Yes or no? So it is translated, children, from English to Telugu. It is translated. Drops are nothing but raindrops are nothing but chukka. Right? That is how the name Chitiki Rumal. That is how the name Chitiki Rumal. So Rumal, whatever the napkins used by our elders. Okay, whatever the napkins used by our elders. It is the Rumal. This was the favorite headgear of fishermen and other laborers. So whatever the rumals are used by those people who are using this rumals, children, chitki rumals. These chitki rumals are used by the headgear of fishermen. So the fishermen, have you seen the fishermen will catch the fishes? They go into the seas. Okay, carrying the boats, they go to the seas and they catch the fishes. So when they are going to that work, they just have this chitki rumals on their heads. And other laborers, okay, the potters, children, have you seen the potters who are working in the railway station? They just carry the luggage. So no, before going to have the luggage, they just tie the chitki rumals. It was also the towel on the shoulders of traders in Gujarat. So we can find, when you go to the Gujarat state, children, there we'll find the many textile markets. Yes or no? Many textile market you can see. So the workers who are working in those textile market, they are mostly using this kind of rumals only. Now she suddenly thought of another explanation. Now the teacher is began to give another one more explanation. She asked, children, when you have to measure a small quantity of a material, you use a specific word in Telugu. This time Ramya answered promptly. That means without having any delay. Promptly is nothing but without having any delay, without giving any gap. That Ramya is began to give the answer to the question. Okay. So that is nothing but chitikedu. And before she completed, comprehension was written large on every child face. So chitikedu. Chitikedu is nothing but small children. Chitikedu. Have you seen? I am showing you in the class here. I am showing my fingertip. Yes or no? Chitikedu is nothing but a small quantity. Right? Now, teacher, chitiki means small and small dots of color which are characteristic of Ikat. Okay. So, what is the characteristics of Ikat? The characteristics of Ikat is nothing but chitiki is nothing but the small and small dots of color which is given to the thread. Now, they chorused, chorused. Chorused is nothing but the children who are sitting in the class, what they are doing? They began to make the noise by repeating the same word. That is called the chorused. The class was jubilant. That means by hearing the words of the student and by the teacher, the complete class was becoming jubilant. Jubilant is nothing but becoming happy children, joy. They felt very joy. They were able to come up with an original explanation for a historical phrase. Now one more explanation is given. Okay, and they are taking the topic about the historical phrase and they are constructing the example here. When trade was vigorous with other nations in Southeast Asia, vigorous is nothing but strong children. You can give the explanation to this meaning as a strong. When the trade was strong with other nations in Southeast Asia, when the trade is nothing but business children. Okay, when the business is made with other countries in Southeast Asia, tie and dye or chitiki as length of fabric was a favorite export item both in silk and cotton. Okay, so when we are going to export these fabrics to the other countries, the tie and dye method has become very famous. It has become very famous. Now, which cloths are become which fabric has become very famous here? The silk and the cotton fabric has become very famous. She said there are other interesting stories on Ikat. Okay, the teacher is explaining. Not only this, there are other stories also. When we are taking the stories from the historical phrases, there are some more stories which are very interesting to hear related to Ikat. Different regions fight about its origin. Okay, different regions. Region means places, children. Different region people fight about its origin. Origin is nothing but from where it has been started. Beginning, from where it has been started. Did it travel from Gujarat to south or vice versa? Okay, did it travel from Gujarat? Why the name has Gujarat? Why the name of our state Gujarat has came, children? Why? Because the Gujarat place is very famous for producing the fabrics here. Now, did it first originate in the coastal belt of Andhra Pradesh and travel to Nalgonda? Now, teacher is asking. Okay, did it? What is the question is given? Did it first originate? Originate means originate is nothing but starting. Okay. Originated. Did it first start in the coastal belt of Andhra Pradesh and travel to Nalgonda? Right. First it was started from Nalgonda, Andhra Pradesh to Nalgonda. The teacher is asking. There is no systematic historical document to resolve this dispute. So whatever the question is raised by the teacher, there was no proper answer to give this. The class was fully attentive now. Now the class has begun to become very attentive. That means more and more concentration the students are showing towards the teacher. When the teacher was giving the explanation about the story of the Ikat. Right? For example, Raksha Bandhan. We know our festival is the Raksha Bandhan. Our Hindu people are going to celebrate the Raksha Bandhan. For Raksha Bandhan, the tying of the knot was done by yellow and red Ikat, dyed threads. Dye. Okay. During the Raksha Bandhan, have you seen? Now we are able to see the many Raksha Bandhans have made with the diamond, stone, plastic, gold, silvers. But in olden days, the Raksha Bandhan has to be the Rakhi. You will tell no children, the Rakhi. That Rakhi used to be prepared with these threads only. Okay, and the threads are mostly prepared with which color? Yellow and red color. Okay, dyed threads. In our tradition, that means in our culture, in our tradition, tying the knot is sacred. Okay, tying the knot is sacred. That means pavitramainadi, you will tell no children in Telugu. Yes or no? So whatever the sister ties to a brother, okay, it is sacred one. Sacred is nothing but pavitramainadi. Maybe this has a relation to tying and dyeing process. Okay, here the meaning of dyeing is not dying, passing away from the world. That is not dyeing, children. Tying is nothing but to tying the color, tying the fabric and giving the color to that fabric. That's all. Okay, dyeing is nothing but do you know the meaning of hair dye? Hair dye means if your parents have the white hairs, they wanted to make their hair black in color. What they will do? They just bring the Godrej and they dye to the hair. Yes or no? So here the hairs are not dyed. The fabrics are going to be dyed in different colors. Giving the color is known as the dyeing, children. But in parts of Gujarat, Maharashtra and Deccan, designs in Ikat were very much influenced by Muslim culture. Okay, our Muslim culture people, what they have done, they are very much influenced in the different parts of the Gujarat, Maharashtra and Deccan. The bell was ringing, but the class was lost in a period where vibrant colors and compelling stories were woven into beautiful fabrics. So the period has completed, children. So the teacher has came. Okay, Janaki teacher has came to the class and she began to explain about the story of the Ikat. Ikat is nothing but how the handloom is prepared. Okay, sorry, not the handloom. The teacher is explained about the handloom. How the fabrics are made, and how the color is given to the fabric. Those fabric, it is explained by the teacher. So lastly, the period has been completed, but the class was lost in the period was, the children were lost in beautiful fabrics. That means they began to see the vibrant colors and compelling stories. That means vibrant, they have seen the different colors and compelling stories. Okay, whatever the stories have told by the teacher, no, okay, they began to hear those stories and they forgot about the period only. Okay, so this is the lesson which was written by Dr. B. Shama Sundari. Okay, it was written by the author Dr. B. Shama Sundari. That means a female author has been written this lesson. Okay, so we have completed the second part of the lesson, the story of Ikat, how the handlooms are made. That story has been explained in our lesson, children. So in the next class we are going to see the one more lesson. Okay, children. So keep watch this video. If you have any doubts from the lesson, many meanings are given in the glossary. Refer to the glossary and read the lesson once or twice for easy understanding, children. For easy understanding, you should have to read the lesson for one or twice. Okay. So with this ending my class. Bye to everybody.